Here is a more detailed development timeline for James Bond 007, Nightfire, September 2000, early development. The development of James Bond 007, Nightfire began as early as September 2000. The game's initial concept was rooted in the success of the earlier GoldenEye 007 and The World Is Not Enough, both of which inspired EA and the developers to continue producing games based on the iconic James Bond franchise. Development team: Gearbox Software, known for its work on Half-Life: Opposing Force, was chosen as the primary development studio for Nightfire. The team aimed to deliver a game that would capture the action-packed nature of the Bond films while integrating strong multiplayer functionality. May 2001, Game Announcement. In May 2001, the game was officially announced under the title James Bond 007. The announcement generated excitement among fans who were eager to see another Bond game after the success of its predecessors. Platform plans: EA confirmed that the game would be developed for multiple platforms, including PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, and PC. This marked the first time the franchise would be on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox consoles. February 2002. Working title change: Phoenix Rising. By February 2002, the game had been given a working title, James Bond in Phoenix Rising. This title referred to the game's new narrative and original elements, which included Bond taking on a mission involving high-tech espionage and a new villain. It was still an internal working title and did not reflect the final product. Story development: the story for Phoenix Rising revolved around a high-tech weapons corporation and a nefarious villain with a complex plan. The narrative included Bond's classic action sequences, gadgets, and his interaction with a new set of characters. The development team began integrating both single-player and multiplayer modes into the design. Mid-2002, shift to final title. Finalization of title: by mid-2002, the working title Phoenix Rising was dropped in favor of the official title James Bond 007, Nightfire. This title was more fitting for the game's theme and reflected the darker and more intense nature of the narrative. Gameplay refinements: developers focused on refining the core gameplay mechanics, balancing first-person shooter mechanics with the espionage and gadget elements typical of the Bond films. The game was designed to include both linear levels and more open-ended areas, offering varied gameplay experiences. Late 2002, development nears completion. Testing and polishing: as the final months of development approached, Gearbox Software began polishing the game, focusing on bug fixes, gameplay balance, and fine-tuning the multiplayer modes. Multiplayer focus: one of the game's key features was its multiplayer mode, which allowed players to engage in competitive online and split-screen matches. The multiplayer aspect was something that Nightfire heavily emphasized, with the development team testing various modes to ensure a satisfying experience for players. November 2002, official release. Launch: James Bond 007, Nightfire was officially released in November 2002 across multiple platforms, including PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, and PC. It was highly anticipated by fans due to its connection to the Bond franchise and the previous success of GoldenEye and The World Is Not Enough. Reception: the game received generally positive reviews for its engaging single-player campaign, fast-paced action, and enjoyable multiplayer modes. However, some critics felt it fell short compared to the iconic GoldenEye 007, particularly in terms of level design and difficulty. 2003, additional ports and post-release content. Game Boy Advance and Mac OS X ports. After the initial release, Nightfire was ported to the Game Boy Advance and Mac OS X, expanding its availability and bringing the Bond experience to new audiences. Post-launch support: Gearbox Software continued to work on minor updates and support for the multiplayer modes, while fans of the game continued to enjoy its blend of cinematic action and first-person shooter mechanics. This detailed timeline highlights the major milestones in the development and release of James Bond 007, Nightfire, showing its evolution from early concept stages to the final product. For many,